An artist vanished days before unveiling a piece critical of the church. His studio was locked, his name erased from records, no official explanation was given, as if he had never existed in the first place. Centurias Ago, the church, realized something powerful. Art influences minds faster than sermons. Sote took it, glorified it outwardly, and controlled it from within. What once liberated now serves as a tool for silence. A secret order, the Custodes Veritatis, decides what art is allowed to exist. What challenges is destroyed, what obeys is promoted. Beauty isn't the goal. Control is truth, when inconvenient, is quietly buried. Actors, musicians, writers, they don't rise by merit. They're selected, groomed, broken, and rewarded. Fame isn't earned, it's traded. And what they give in return is total submission to an invisible hand. Beneath the Vatican's sacred halls lies more than relics. Secret vaults, store-banned works, paintings, books, films, too dangerous to show, too true to ignore. The greatest masterpieces are the ones you're never allowed to see. The icons we idolize were chosen long before the spotlight. Their ascent is no coincidence. They are crafted, rehearsed, and placed where they're needed, not to reveal truth, but to distract from it. There are whispers of ancient pacts beneath cathedrals, rituals performed under holy ground, not for salvation, but for preservation of power. Faith becomes a mask worn by those who fear losing control. Those who rebel vanish. Always the same story. Overdose, breakdown, suicide. But if you look closer, you'll find the pattern. Each of them knew too much and said more than they were allowed to. One actress tried to expose it all during a live broadcast. The feed was cut instantly. Days later, she announced her retirement. But her eyes that night said everything her lips couldn't. Public figures don't rise without rituals. They've passed through stained-glass corridors and whispered vows. Their influence is not a gift. It's a contract. They lead, yes, but only in the direction they're told. The symbols are everywhere. Music videos, award shows, charity events, not hidden. Just unnoticed. They speak in plain sight. And once you know what to look for, it's impossible to unsee. The symbols are everywhere. Music videos, award shows, charity events, not hidden. Just unnoticed. They speak in plain sight. And once you know what to look for, it's impossible to unsee. A sculptor once presented a piece that unsettled the elite. It was quickly removed. He withdrew from the public eye. True art doesn't flatter, it reveals. And what it reveals can't always be allowed to remain. Even the so-called rebels are often part of the design. They appear to resist, but their lines are scripted, their reach calculated. Controlled opposition is safer than real dissent, and far more useful. Confessionals don't gestor scenes. They collect secrets. Strategic ones. Information used for leverage, silence, or alignment. Not everything whispered in the dark is forgiven. Some of it is archived. A Toyer boy hummed a forbidden tune, learned by accident. Within days, he was gone. Rumors say the melody unlocked something deeper than memory. Something ancient, and once opened, it couldn't be closed again. Pope Clement XIV tried to expose how the Church manipulates art. He died suddenly. Natural causes, they said, but his final manuscript, the one naming names, disappeared. No trace, no explanation. Saints aren't always chosen for miracles. Sometimes they're created, their stories written like scripts, full of symbols, morals, and control. Holiness becomes branding, and every brand serves a purpose. Some artists still resist. Quietly, they hide messages in color, geometry, gestures. Their warnings are subtle but deliberate. You won't see them unless you learn how to look beyond the surface. A hidden network exists. Ex-priests, ex-celebrities, blacklisted historians. They've seen behind the curtain, and now they fight from the shadows. Their message isn't loud, but it's spreading. A pop star vanished from the spotlight. Years later, she said, "The higher you climb, the darker it gets." Her silence spoke louder than her lyrics. Her smile never quite reached her eyes again. Awards aren't celebrations. They're rituals. Every trophy, every outfit, every gesture designed, approved, rehearsed. Not to honor art, but to honor allegiance. What you think is spontaneous is choreographed. Your childhood cartoons weren't innocent. Every word, every frame was reviewed. Programming starts young, not with technology, but with storytelling. And once the seed is planted, it grows quietly. Witches aren't burned anymore. They're promoted, given platforms, contracts, followers. They become icons until they're no longer useful. Then they vanish. The new persecution doesn't need fire, just silence. A filmmaker tried to leak a documentary. He was found dead days later, in bizarre conditions. Unfortunate accident. The footage vanished, but fragments still exist, scattered like warnings. Fashion brands praised by religious figures sometimes hide messages in stitching, tags, even thread patterns. It's not just clothing, it's code, and once you wear it, you carry the message with you. Viral content isn't random. Algorithms guide your eyes. They show what benefits the system and bury what questions it. The real censorship isn't loud. It's silent, invisible, and total. The real power doesn't sit in the Vatican. It sits inside your belief system, shaped over years without your knowing. You weren't taught truth. You were taught what was safe to believe. Now that you know, there are two paths: forget and follow, or see and question. But be warned, truth doesn't comfort, it awakens. And once you're awake, there's no going back. If this made you think, like the video, subscribe, and hit the bell. Because the next truth won't wait for you to find it. It will find you.